You've felt it, haven't you? The pressure, the whispers, the feeling that something unseen is fighting for your attention or fighting over you. Listen closely, because this is not random. God is speaking to you right now. You thought you were forgotten, but heaven is watching. You thought you were rejected, but destiny is arguing over your name. Someone just said it. You are the one. And the spiritual realm is shifting because of it. Yes, you have been attacked. Yes, doors closed in your face. Yes, people walked away like you were nothing. But I need you to hear this. You were never ordinary enough to be ignored. There is a divine tension around your life. Something is coming for you. Something is fighting over you. Something is about to choose you publicly after hiding you privately. Stay with me, because what they didn't tell you about your life is about to be revealed. I saw when they rejected you. I saw when you were not chosen. I saw when you waited for a call that never came, when you refreshed the message again and again, hoping someone would notice your worth. And I need you to hear me clearly now. My child, that rejection was never your end. It was my hand protecting your beginning. You thought you were being pushed away because you were not enough. But I was actually pulling you closer to your destiny. While you were crying in silence, I was standing between you and things that would have broken your spirit beyond repair. You didn't see the dangers I saw. You didn't hear the words people were going to speak behind your back. You didn't know the plans that were quietly forming against your purpose. So I allowed rejection to become your shield. Yes, it hurt. I know it hurt. I felt every tear you wiped away before anyone could see them. I felt that moment when you asked, "Why does my life feel so hard when I am trying to do good?" Listen to me carefully. Hardness is not always punishment. Sometimes it is preparation. I was building spiritual strength inside you that comfort and popularity could never give you. You were never meant to belong everywhere. You were meant to be protected while I was shaping something powerful inside your character. The places that rejected you were not your permanent home. They were testing grounds. They were temporary stages in a story that is still being written in heaven's silence. You thought being chosen meant being celebrated immediately, but I choose my strongest vessels differently. I hide them before I reveal them. I allow them to walk through lonely roads so they can learn my voice above the noise of human opinions. Because when I promote you, I want you to know that it was never people who carried you. It was my grace alone. Do not be bitter about who walked away. They could not carry the weight of the glory I am placing on your life. The destiny I have for you requires spiritual endurance, emotional strength, and faith that survives disappointment. What you called rejection was actually me redirecting your steps towards something greater than anything you lost. And listen closely, because your story is not over. The same places that rejected you will one day see my favor resting on your life. Not for revenge, but for testimony. Not for pride, but for purpose. I did not abandon you. I was protecting the version of you that is about to walk into destiny with power, peace, and divine authority. I have seen the battles you fight when nobody is watching, the sleepless nights, the sudden heaviness in your spirit, the moments when it feels like life itself is standing against you, like every step forward is met with resistance. And I want you to listen carefully, because this is me speaking directly to your soul. The battles you face are not proof that you are losing. They are proof that something valuable is being spiritually contested over your life. Do you think darkness attacks things that have no value? No, darkness fights what carries light. The more you shine, the more you become a target for spiritual resistance. That heaviness you feel, that pressure pushing against your peace, that is not random chaos. That is evidence that your life carries destiny weight. Something inside you is too important to be left untouched by spiritual warfare. I saw the moment when you tried to stand strong, but fear whispered that you were alone. I heard the voices telling you that you were forgotten, that your dreams were too big, that your calling was too heavy for someone like you. But I placed greatness inside you long before the battles began. And greatness is always tested before it is trusted with power. You wondered why your life seems to attract conflict, why relationships become complicated, why opportunities sometimes come with hidden resistance. Hear me clearly. You are not fighting random wars. You are standing in spiritual territory that belongs to your destiny. And the enemy does not waste energy fighting empty ground. There is something inside you that cannot be destroyed easily. Your faith after pain, your kindness after betrayal, your hope when everything feels lost. These are not weaknesses. These are weapons shaped in silence. Every time you refuse to give up, you are strengthening something eternal inside your spirit. I know there were days when you felt spiritually exhausted, when you asked, "Why is my life always under pressure?" Because pressure is sometimes the environment where purpose is formed. Diamonds are not created in comfort. Warriors are not trained in peace. I am not allowing these battles to destroy you. I am using them to reveal who you truly are. Do not mistake spiritual warfare for spiritual defeat. The fact that you are still standing is already a message to the unseen forces that you belong to something greater. You are not fighting to survive. You are fighting because you are chosen to carry something powerful into the future. And hear this deeply in your heart. What is being fought over you is not just your success. It is your influence, your voice, your destiny impact. Your story is becoming something that will give strength to others who feel like giving up. So stand strong, breathe deeply, because I am not done with you. The battles are not ending you. They are proving you belong to destiny. I saw you when you felt forgotten, sitting in silence while others were laughing together, building memories you felt you were not invited to. I saw you scrolling through your phone, watching lives that seemed happier, easier, louder than yours. And I want you to hear my voice clearly right now. Your isolation was never punishment. It was my secret classroom where I was strengthening you as one of my chosen ones. You thought being alone meant something was wrong with you. You thought maybe people avoided you because you were too different, too quiet, too broken, too complicated to understand. But I was not pushing people away from you to punish you. I was pulling your spirit away from noise so you could hear me more clearly. Because destiny requires clarity, and clarity cannot grow in constant distraction. There were lessons I needed to teach you that crowds could never teach you. I needed to teach you how to stand when nobody is cheering. I needed to teach you how to keep believing when nobody is agreeing with your vision. I needed to teach you how to carry purpose without needing applause to validate your existence. Yes, I saw the nights when loneliness felt heavy on your chest. When you wondered if you were meant to walk through life without deep connection. Listen to me carefully. You were never meant to live without love. You were meant to live with divine preparation before divine connection. The people I am preparing to send into your life will not drain you. They will recognize the strength I built inside you during your hidden seasons. Isolation is where I remove distractions from your soul. I was protecting your identity from being shaped by the wrong voices. Because too many voices can confuse a chosen heart, I wanted you to learn how to trust my voice above popularity, above trends, above social approval. While you were alone, I was building spiritual maturity inside your character. I was teaching you emotional resilience. I was teaching you how to survive storms that others will not even see coming in their lives. You are stronger in silence than you realize. The strength you carry is not loud. It is deep. It is steady. It is unshakable. You thought your isolation meant you were being left behind. But I was actually placing you ahead spiritually, while others were still learning lessons you already survived. There are battles you will face in your future that will require the strength you built in your hidden seasons. Do not fear your quiet seasons. Do not rush out of preparation seasons just to feel accepted. Because I am not building you to be popular. I am building you to be powerful, stable, and spiritually grounded in destiny. And listen carefully, your isolation is ending at the right time. Not when you are comfortable, but when you are ready. And when I open the doors ahead of you, you will understand why I first taught you how to stand alone. I remember every door that closed in your face. I remember how you stood there, confused, heart heavy, trying to understand why opportunities slipped through your fingers at the last moment. You thought you were being rejected again. You thought you had failed again. But I need you to listen to me very closely. Every closed door was not rejection. It was spiritual warfare blocking what would have destroyed your purpose. You didn't see what I saw behind those doors. You saw opportunity. I saw danger dressed like opportunity. You saw a chance to move forward. I saw traps waiting to steal your peace, your identity, your calling. So I allowed the doors to close suddenly, sometimes painfully, sometimes without explanation, because I love you too much to let destiny be stolen quietly. There were people you wanted to trust, jobs you wanted to take, relationships you wanted to enter, places you wanted to belong. And when those doors shut, it felt humiliating. It felt like heaven itself had gone silent. But I was not silent. I was working in spiritual places you could not see with physical eyes. You cried, asking why timing never seemed to work in your favor. Why things would almost happen and then collapse. Hear me clearly. You were not living under bad luck. You were living under divine protection. The enemy wanted you distracted in places that would have drained your spiritual energy, your confidence, your vision for the future I have prepared for you. Some of those doors were connected to people who would have broken your trust, ways you would not have recovered from easily. Some were environments that would have slowly dimmed the light I placed inside your spirit. Some were opportunities that looked successful on the outside, but were spiritually empty on the inside. I was protecting your calling from contamination. Because what I am building in your life is not temporary success. It is generational impact. It is purpose that will outlive your fears. And the warfare around your life is evidence that you are carrying something valuable enough to fight over. Do not feel embarrassed about the doors you missed. Do not compare your journey with people who walked through doors that were not meant for their destiny either. Timing matters in destiny. Character matters in promotion. And I am never late when I move you forward. There will come a moment when you will look back and understand why those doors had to close. You will realize that what you thought was loss was actually me, redirecting you towards something greater, something stronger, something spiritually aligned with your purpose. And listen to this carefully. The same force that closed those doors is now preparing to open better ones. Not because you forced them, not because you begged for them, but because I have been fighting quietly for your future while you were learning how to trust me in the dark. So stop mourning closed doors, because what I am about to open will not feel like survival. It will feel like destiny finally recognizing your name. I heard the questions in your heart, the quiet panic, the pressure you felt when you looked at other people moving forward, while you felt stuck in places you didn't want to stay. I heard you whisper, "Am I too late? Did I miss my chance? Did my life fall behind while I was struggling?" And I need you to listen to me very closely right now. You are not late. You are being positioned for a breakthrough that others cannot steal. Time does not move against my chosen ones. It moves with purpose. You thought delays were failures, but I was slowing your steps so that what belongs to you could be secured in spiritual places you cannot see. You were not watching your life fall behind. You were watching destiny prepare itself for your arrival. I saw every moment you tried to hurry your blessing. Every moment you compared your journey to others who seemed to rise faster, shine brighter, move easier. And I understand why you felt that way, because waiting is heavy on the human heart. But waiting is not wasted time in my kingdom. Waiting is where I strengthen your character, so that when I release your breakthrough, it will not destroy you with pressure you are not ready to carry. There were things I needed to build inside you before I released what you are asking for. Emotional stability, spiritual wisdom, discernment, the strength to handle success without losing humility. Because I am not just giving you breakthroughs, I am preparing you to carry them without breaking under their weight. You felt invisible sometimes. You felt like life was passing you by. But I was placing you in divine holding patterns, protecting you from acceleration that would have brought you into environments where your purpose would have been misunderstood or exploited. Your breakthrough is not something that others can steal because it is not being stored in human systems. It is being stored in spiritual timing. No jealousy can stop it. No rejection can cancel it. No enemy can rush what I have already scheduled for your life. You are not racing against other people. You are walking a divine path designed specifically for your destiny. Some people will move faster in seasons that are not meant for your story. But that does not make you behind. It means you are being prepared for a level of blessing that requires deeper strength, deeper faith, and deeper spiritual maturity. I know you grew tired of waiting. I know you wondered if your prayers were reaching me. They were. Every one of them. Even the prayers you could only cry, not speak. And listen closely. The breakthrough I am preparing for you will not feel like you fought your way to it. It will feel like grace found you at the exact moment your destiny was ready to unfold. Do not rush now. Do not panic now. Because I am not only bringing you forward, I am bringing you forward at the exact moment where your success cannot be stolen, delayed, or destroyed. Your timing is not late. Your destiny is just getting started. I see how quietly you have been watching the battles around your life. I see the people who smiled at you while secretly hoping you would fall. I see the whispers. I see the plans that were made against your peace, your confidence, your future. And I need you to hear my voice in the middle of your fear, your anger, and your exhaustion. Heaven is fighting quietly, while your enemies think they have already won. Do not mistake silence for abandonment. I do not always fight your battles with noise and spectacle. Sometimes I fight in ways you cannot see, in places you cannot reach, in spiritual spaces where human pride cannot enter. While your enemies were celebrating early, I was already working in unseen dimensions of your destiny, dismantling things that were meant to break you slowly instead of suddenly. I watched them count you out. I watched them talk as if your story was finished. I watched them smile like your dreams had already died. But they do not understand how I move in hidden victories. They do not understand that I protect my chosen ones differently. I do not always stop battles immediately. Sometimes I allow the battle to continue while I strengthen your spirit so that when victory comes, it will not just be survival, it will be authority. You felt the pressure. You felt the spiritual heaviness around certain relationships, certain environments, certain conversations. You felt when something was not right even when you could not explain it. That was not paranoia. That was spiritual sensitivity growing inside you. I was teaching you how to recognize spiritual truth, even when deception was dressed like kindness. Your enemies thought your story was ending because they only saw the visible battlefield. But I was fighting in places where plans were being dismantled before they could even reach you. I was redirecting opportunities away from people who would have used them to control your purpose. I was protecting your future influence from being contaminated by jealousy and hidden intentions. You may not see my army working around you, but I want you to understand something powerful. Heaven does not panic. Heaven does not rush. Heaven does not lose battles. Even when it feels like darkness is winning, I am working in the background of your life, preparing a reversal that will shock the same people who doubted you. There will come a moment when you will see why certain attacks failed at the last second, why certain plans collapsed suddenly, why certain people disappeared from your life without explanation. And you will realize it was not coincidence. It was divine protection moving faster than your enemy's strategies. Do not fight in fear, fight in faith. Because victory is not being decided by what your enemies believe. Victory is being decided in spiritual places where your name is already protected, your destiny already secured, your future already guarded. And listen closely, the celebration of your enemies will not last, because heaven does not lose when it fights for something it has already chosen. and you are still here. That alone is evidence that I have not finished fighting for you. I saw every tear you tried to hide from the world. I saw the nights when you sat in silence, feeling like your pain was too heavy to speak out loud. I saw the moments when you wondered if suffering had meaning, if your struggles were just random chaos, if your story would ever make sense again. And I want you to listen to me very carefully. The pain you endured is not wasted. It is becoming the testimony that will give others faith. You thought your suffering was destroying you, but I was transforming your suffering into spiritual authority. Pain changes people. It can make them bitter, or it can make them powerful. And I was guarding your heart so that your pain would not harden you. I was shaping your pain into compassion, wisdom, and strength that will speak life into people who feel exactly like you once felt. There were days when you felt invisible in your suffering, when you were smiling in public, but breaking in private, when you carried responsibilities, expectations, emotional burdens, and spiritual battles that nobody else could see. But I saw you. I collected every silent prayer. Every tear that fell without words attached to it became part of your spiritual story. You did not survive pain just to survive. You survived pain so that someone else will survive because of your voice. There are people I will send into your life in the future who will be standing exactly where you once stood. Confused, broken, exhausted, feeling forgotten. And when you speak to them, your words will carry spiritual weight because you have walked through the fire they are afraid of entering. Do you remember how you questioned whether your suffering had purpose? I was already turning your wounds into wisdom. Your heartbreak is becoming emotional intelligence. Your loneliness is becoming spiritual depth. Your betrayal is becoming discernment. Nothing you endured was wasted in my hands. You are not just a survivor. You are becoming a living testimony of what faith looks like after pain refuses to break your spirit. People will hear your story and feel hope again. They will see that healing is possible. They will see that destiny can still win even after disappointment tried to write the ending of your story. And I want you to release shame about your past pain. You are not damaged goods. You are not spiritually disqualified because you suffered. You are qualified because you endured. Strength is not just in victory. Strength is in standing up again after life tried to keep you down. Your testimony will carry authority because it will be authentic. You will not speak about victory like someone who read about it. You will speak like someone who survived it, and people will feel my presence through your words because your pain has been refined into purpose. So do not hide your story, because the same pain that once tried to destroy you is now becoming the message that will give others permission to believe again. And that is how I turn suffering into destiny. I have seen everything you have been through. I have seen the weight of your memories, the shadows of your past that sometimes try to follow you into your present. I have heard the fears that speak quietly in your mind when you are alone, asking if you are truly worthy of what I have prepared for you. And now I need you to listen to me very closely, because this is my final truth over your spirit. Your destiny is bigger than your past, stronger than your fear, and sealed by my promise. Your past was not the final chapter of your story. It was never meant to define who you are becoming. I watched every mistake you regretted, every moment you wish you could go back and rewrite, every choice that caused you pain, shame, or emotional scars. And I did not walk away from you in those moments. I was standing beside you, even when you could not feel my presence, through the weight of your own disappointment. You have carried fear for too long, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, fear of repeating old patterns. But I need you to understand something deeply spiritual and powerful. Fear is loud, but destiny is stronger. Fear screams. Destiny speaks with quiet authority. Fear tries to convince you that your future will look like your past. But I am building something new inside your life that your fear cannot predict. You are not walking into destiny as a broken version of your past self. I have been reshaping your spirit in ways you cannot fully see yet. Every trial you survived was removing layers of fear, insecurity, and doubt from your identity. You are becoming spiritually stronger than you realize. There is a courage growing inside you that will not depend on external validation. Listen carefully. I did not choose you because you were perfect. I chose you because I knew you could carry my promise even when life felt heavy. My promise over your life is not fragile. It is not easily broken by failure, rejection, or time. What I have spoken over your destiny is secured in spiritual places where human mistakes cannot erase it. There will be moments in your future when you will look back and barely recognize the person you used to be. Not because you forgot your past, but because your destiny will be so powerful that your past will feel like preparation instead of punishment. Do not carry shame from who you were. Carry strength from who you are becoming. Because I am not building you to survive life. I am building you to transform it. Your destiny will attract favor you did not earn, opportunities you did not force, doors you did not knock on with desperation. Because I am already working ahead of you, arranging moments, people, and blessings that will recognize your purpose before you even arrive. So stand tall, breathe deeply, and walk forward knowing this one truth. Your destiny is already sealed by my promise, and nothing from your past or your fear can cancel what I have decided for your life. I need you to listen closely now, because something inside you is beginning to wake up. You are starting to realize that your pain was never random. You are starting to feel it deep in your spirit, that your suffering was not punishment, not abandonment, not spiritual failure. It was preparation. Your pain had purpose. And I need you to feel the weight of that truth rising inside your soul right now. There were moments when you thought you were breaking, but I was actually building strength into places of your heart that comfort could never reach. You thought you were being crushed, but I was compressing your spirit into something unshakable, like pressure forming strength inside something fragile, except you were never as fragile as you thought you were. I was protecting you when you did not know you needed protection, when you trusted people who did not carry my heart for you, when you stepped into environments that felt warm at first, but slowly drained your spirit. I pulled you back, sometimes suddenly, sometimes painfully, because I was standing between you and versions of your future that would have cost you too much to survive emotionally. You did not see the unseen battles being fought around you. While you were crying, I was removing people who would have delayed your destiny. While you were feeling lonely, I was strengthening your identity so that when your destiny voice speaks, you will not need validation from crowds to believe who you are. While you felt overlooked, I was storing favor in your future that no human jealousy could destroy. And now something is changing. Can you feel it? That stirring in your spirit, that sense that your story is not over. That feeling that your pain is starting to make sense in a way you cannot explain with logic, but can feel in your soul. Your pain was training you for destiny responsibility. Because I am not calling you into a small life. I am calling you into influence, impact, spiritual leadership, emotional strength that others will lean on when their own strength fails. You had to learn compassion through suffering, so that when I send hurting people to you, you will not judge them. You will understand them. The tears you cried were not wasted. They were watering future seeds of purpose you cannot yet see. The nights you survived were preparing you for days where others will need your strength just to keep believing. And now destiny is beginning to activate inside you. Not loudly, not suddenly, but powerfully. Like something buried deep in the ground, finally pushing toward the surface after surviving the winter. You are not just surviving anymore. You are being prepared to rise. And what I am about to do in your life will make your pain look like it was always part of your victory story. You are still here. That is not an accident, that is victory breathing inside you. Every battle, every tear, every moment you thought you were alone was never proof that I left you. It was proof that I was carrying you through storms you could not survive on your own. I never walked away from you. I was fighting quietly, preparing you for a destiny that is stronger than your pain, greater than your past, and brighter than your fear. Now stand up in your spirit, not as someone defeated, but as someone chosen. The same God who protected you in your darkest nights is the same God opening your future doors. Your story is not ending, it is rising. Walk forward with courage. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward knowing your name is still written in destiny. You are not broken. You are chosen, and your greatest victory is still ahead of you.